Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you to the third lecture, which is going to be the revision class for SCC 407, Auditing and Investigations, in preparation for the next semester exam. We are going to look at one of the topics that we did earlier, which is late now, the one we did in March 2021, the audit process. Just to remind you, the audit reports, which we did, just as a reminder. Then I'm going to give you 10 questions. You can team up with anybody in the group to make 2, and then you will jointly submit your answer to any of the questions that I've given you. But it's important that you go through all the 10 questions. It is important that you go through and understand all the 10 questions. Are you with me? I say it again for the third time.
Yes, sir.
It is important that you go through and understand all the 10 questions, but submit your answer on, okay, let me make it individual. Submit your answer on any one of the 10 questions, So my assignments are now 3. You have to submit one on audit files earlier, which I have not received. Okay. The second one is the one you are submitting. Some of you have submitted now, and some are yet to submit. The third one is going to be this one, which I'm giving you now. I'm going to give you 10 questions. You will pick any of the 10 questions and then write on it as if you are writing it for the exam, and then submit to me. You understand? So that is.
Is it one of 10 questions?
One out of the 10.
Should let me tell that person.
1 out of the 10 questions.
So yes, carry your picture, come out now.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
please, sir. The audit file we were meant to submit, was that the one we did before we went on strike?
The one you did before you went on strike, which one is that? Is it the audit files?
Yes, that the assignment is on content of permanent audit file and current audit file.
Have you submitted that?
No, sir.
I want that to be submitted to me as well. That is the first one. The second one is the one you are submitting now, the one that is currently being submitted.
Yes, sir.
Is it on cards? Okay, on cards also. Well, I said you should pick an option there. Then the third one is the one I'm just going to give you now. Maybe I should start by reading the questions to you before we take the revision of the 2 other topics which we did earlier. And I also want to talk to you about group accounts. About group audit briefly. Okay, now listen. Number one, you can. I'm not dictating for you to copy. When you listen to the tape, then maybe also I could be slow for you to copy, because if the file size is too big, I may not be able to send the audio, but the video will be available on YouTube. The first one is, what is audit strategy? That is 1A. What is audit strategy? What is audit strategy? B, identify and explain any 4 types of audit strategy. Is that Ranzeros? Slow men and women at work. Is that photocopied?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number 2. A, explain the concept of audit evidence. 2A, explain the concept of audit evidence. B, in relation to audit evidence, discuss any 2 of the underlisted. In relation to audit evidence, discuss any 2 of the underlisted. 1, documentation. 2, related parties. 3, management representation. And 4,
Sir, come again.
using the work of others. 1, documentation. 2, related parties. 3, management representation. And 4, using the work of others. Question
3.
3A. Question 3A. Audit files can be classified into how many parts? Audit files can be classified into how many parts? B. List 5 contents of each type of audit files. This question number 3 is excluded from your options. You cannot pick question number 3 because we submitted an assignment on it already. So you cannot pick question number 3 again. Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Number 4A. Number 4A. What is an accounting technology? What is an accounting technology? What is an accounting technology? B. Explain the transformation in accounting technology over time. Explain the transformation in accounting technology over time. And C. What challenges may arise from the audit of electronic data processing systems?
Sir, come again.
What challenges may arise from the audit of electronic data processing systems?
What challenges may arise
Sir,
from
sorry, please. From the audit of electronic
EDPs, data processing systems, EDPs. Question number 5. Question number 5. Identify and explain the broad approaches to the audit of EDP systems. Identify and explain the broad approaches to the audit of EDP systems. That is A, that is 5A. B, what factors should be considered by the auditor in the evaluation of inherent and control risks in an EDP system? What factors should be considered by the auditor in the evaluation of inherent and control risk in an EDP system? Number 6. Abotuto. Number 6. A. What is audit risk? What is audit risk? B. Explain and differentiate between inherent risk and detection risk. Explain and differentiate between inherent risk and detection risk. Number 7 now. Number 7A. What is audit planning? What is audit planning? B. What are the objectives of audit planning?
what are
the objectives of audit planning? And the C. Identify any 5 factors to be considered in planning an audit. Identify any 5 factors to be considered in planning an audit. Question number 8. Question number 8. What do you understand by the acronym CAT? What do you understand by the acronym CAT? Ologbo. If you like, just put Ologbo there if I ask you. B. List and explain the application of the 4 types of cat. List and explain the application of the 4 types of cards adopted in the audit of EDP systems. List and explain the application of the 4 types of cards adopted in the audit of EDP systems. Again, since you are submitting an assignment on this topic, now you cannot take question number 8 as well. So questions 3 and 8 are disqualified from your option of question selection. Is that noted?
Yes, sir.
Question number 9. Question number 9. What is an audit report? What is an audit report? B, that is A. B, explain and differentiate between clean and adverse audit reports. Explain and differentiate between clean and adverse audit reports. C, 9C. Identify the 2 forms of adverse audit reports. Identify the 2 forms of adverse
water.
audit reports. Adverse audit reports. Number 10.
Yes. I'm on board.
Who is calling you when you are in class? Is that that's Bisala answering yes to somebody from outside Abi? -5 marks.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Number 10. In relation to the audit of group accounts, in relation to the audit of group accounts, comma, explain the followings. A, in relation to the audit of group accounts, explain the followings. A, related parties. Related parties. B, component. Component. C-O-M-P-O-N-E-N-T. Component. C, component auditor. Component auditor. D, principal auditor. Principal auditor. And E, transnational audit. Transnational audit. Those are the questions. By now,
Sir, please can you repeat the question number 10 again? My network was breaking.
which one? Where did you reach? That I mentioned 5. Which one did you copy successfully?
I did not write the question, but I wrote 10, the component auditor, principal auditor, and transnational auditor.
You are hearing double. I said transnational audit, not auditor.
Yeah, I'm shocked again.
transnational audit, not transnational auditor, transnational audit. Related party, that is the first one, related party.
Is it going?
Related party, that
Is
is
it going?
A. B is component. Component, that's B.
Yes, sir.
C is component auditor.
Okay, sir.
D is principal auditor.
Okay, sir.
And E, transnational audit, not auditor, transnational audit.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
If you go through the video on audit process, it is still available online. You are going to get answers to so many of the questions that are there. All the answers to the questions which I have given you are available in our videos. I cannot find the recording for audit reports. I cannot find the recording for audit reports online. But it looks like Osanyibi had a recording on that sometimes, which he forwarded to us. Is that correct? Osanyibi?
Yes, I don't have it any longer since my phone had issues.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry for that. Anyway, what we are asking there is not too serious. You should be able to tackle that from your notes and textbooks. Because I looked for the note, I couldn't get it. But all of that notes are available online. I found that it will not be too good not to mention group audit in the course of the curriculum because of the significance to the second level of auditing, which is the course you are taking. Ideally, what distinguishes this course from the lower level one, they are topics like group audit, like specialized audit, like investigations, and all the rest. But to delve into all of those ones will take time and will be a little complicated for a number of you who are just managing to acclimatize back to school, you know. So is that not correct? Is that not correct? Okay. So let me just take you through question number 10. Question number 10. That's the only thing I have not mentioned before. I don't know how complete your previous notes are on that question number 10. So listen to me. That's not all you need to know about group audit. You may read them up. But I just want us to mention certain things there so that at least we can be seen as being there as well. And if I'm going to test that topic, I will not be going beyond question number 10, which I have given you. And that's what I want to explain now. When you talk of related parties can be described as one party that has direct or indirect control over the other party, or the parties are subject to common control from the same source. When I was taking you through a 6402 in those days, you remember that in a group accounting structure, a parent company owns a subsidiary, whether fully or partly. It is a fully owned subsidiary if that parent company has 100% holding of the on the equity of that subsidiary company. But where it has more than 50%, but not up to 100, that is a case of partial control. So where one party controls the other party, such as parent subsidiary relationship, they are both related parties. They are related parties. Or there are two companies, two companies that are controlled by another company. B and C are controlled by A. So both B, C, and A are related parties. So that is what related parties mean. Then component in a group accounting structure or in a group audit structure, the subsidiary company is called a component. The subsidiary company is called a component. The company being controlled is a component, you know, and the auditor to the company being controlled, the subsidiary company, is a component auditor. Is that understood? Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Tí ò bá yé wa
Yes,
ẹ
sir.
sọ̀rọ̀. Okay, ẹgbọ́ ṣùgbọ́n kò yé yín àbí? You have forgotten. Maybe you did a 6402 and passed it. And the 6402 is entirely about group accounts. you should know now. The principal auditor, the auditor of the group who bear the responsibility for the group audit report. The auditors of the group that bear responsibility for the audit report. You know, the principal auditor is the auditor to the group. That auditor will not only look at the parent company alone, it also look at the other subsidiary companies being audited by component auditors. It must incorporate the results being audited by the principal auditor is not limited to the holding companies, parent companies accounts only. It is the group financial statement that auditor is auditing. So any auditor that has responsibility over the entire group audit report is called a principal auditor. And lastly, translational audit, an audit of financial statements, which may be relied upon in more than one country. An audit of financial statements, which may be relied upon in more than one country. That is transnational audit. Let me have your questions on any aspect of those ones that you may not understand. Allow me to look on any question.
No, that was
No, sir.
All correct, Abby. So any question generally from your series of lectures? If in the course of your preparation for the exam, you come across any difficult area on which you need assistance, you can send your question to the group WhatsApp, where any of your colleagues can pick it up and attend to that question. And if I see that the person is not saying the correct thing or nobody is attending to it, I can then step in to bail you out. You have that privilege up till the day preceding the exam. But on the day of the exam, we won't attend to any question. But up to the day preceding the exam, you can always ask us questions. Don't call me on phone asking me a question. No. Don't send to my private WhatsApp or don't clog it. Oh, I'm begging you. Use the group WhatsApp. Send a question there. Your colleagues who know better may answer you. If they are unwilling to, or they are not saying the correct thing, then I will come in to bail you out. I won't leave you alone. I won't consider your attitude. And I won't consider the attitude of federal government either. Just do our own as friends. Abi? So questions, please. Abang, tell that you are the one that is captain 6401. Make sure they meet me tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
What do you, Deborah? You say you tired. You've been changing it since. What have you been changing? Deborah, can we help you?
Sorry, sir.
Eh?
No, sir. Sorry, sir. It was a mistake, sir.
Just let me say that you are okay. Oh.
No, her name was Olonu.
My name was not correctly spelled, so IDK now told me to change it. Ibukun told me to change it.
Ibukun is asking to change it at the wrong time. He should have allowed you to listen to us first and let us finish the lecture before you start changing. I know, I saw it now. Instead of Olomu, you put Olonu and ignored it. Bole to wu ẹ ló ń ṣe. Ṣebí wọ ni. Ó tún wu ẹ ní so they change ẹ̀ sí nǹkan míì. That's you. You know. Okay, you are trying to rename your iPhone, Abi. Kò gbọ́ mọ́ ó ti lọ. Questions, please.
Yes, sir.
If there are no questions, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for responding to the call for lectures and for partaking actively in the 3 or 5 lectures that we have heard so far. And finally, to
Yes,
wish
so
you and to wish you the very best of luck. We don't pray for anybody to repeat this course. It will not be desirable,
amen.
both at individual level and at university level.
Amen.
Because if anybody decides not to come for the exam or decides to fail the exam, I'm not sure the university will be looking for lecturer to teach you next session. No,
Ikude.
because there are just 3 of us remaining. No again lecturers are renewed, and some of us cannot guarantee the continuity of our engagement in that university. So I beg, pass now and go. We are begging, you know. May God be with you all.
So we are
Any
also
of
begging.
any of your colleagues who are not here, get them informed, give them these questions, work together as much as possible. Listen to the video recordings. Use them to treat the questions one after the other. Make sure that you are well prepared. You know what I can say? I can pick 7 out of the 10 and ask you to answer 5. Or pick 6 out of the 10 and ask you to answer 4. That's all you can take. It's either 7 for 5 or 6 for 4. You know, 6 for 4 for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. 7 for 5 for 2.5 or 3 hours. So which one do you want?
6 for 4.
I will look at the rules. If it's
Yes,
allowed.
sir. 6 for 4, sir.
If it's allowed
for
at your
4.
level. If it's allowed
6
at
to
your
4,
level.
sir.
We are going to look at the rules. If allowed, we give you 6 for 4. And then another warning. Let nobody go to the exam hall with a copied material. Let nobody, some people are very foolish in their attitude. In those days when I was HOD, we had cases of students, even ladies, coming to the with prepared materials. Not only would they come, they would put it on the table. You are looking at them and they would be displaying it as if it's a normal thing that they should do. Maybe you all saw them in the exam of that day. Okay, if you should be feeling for such person, and I'll be going to be giving evidence against a student, check also that you are not giving evidence for somebody to be successful. I'm not giving evidence for the person to travel overseas. You are giving evidence for the person to be sent out of the university. Nobody likes that. If you are driving to school to give evidence for somebody to be sent out of school, and you had accident, people will say, "Alone, So we don't want it. So don't give us any difficult job to do. Read as much as you can. Study and memorize whatever you can do. Go there and try your luck, and the Lord will bless your efforts.